Our H2020 project has been carried out with two foreign partners, School of Oriental and African Studies of the University of London and Leiden University. Our focus has been to raise our awareness, sensibility and skills with regard to the cooperation with minority communities who struggle to preserve their languages.
We are following this imposition that we should speak, write only in English. And why? We don't have to do it, and you've just shown it. So thank you so much for this.
Z dniem dzisiejszym zakazuje się używania tak w rodzinach, jak i prywatnych rozmowach gwary wilamowickiej oraz używania odrębnych strojów wilamowskich.
The learning process was mutual because we were lucky enough to include members of these communities, including activists, teachers, poets, and ordinary community members in the process of exchange of knowledge and experience.
Za chwileczkę prezentować się tutaj będą na scenie przedstawiciele wszystkich 4 grup, które pracowały w Wilamowicach, w okolicy Wilamowic i w Hałcnowie w ramach szkoły terenowej.
This was an empowering process both for academics and for collaborating minority communities. And actually this has been the most important dimension of our collaborative project. Not only improved our research tools and skills as researchers working inside and outside of the academy, but we've also contributed to the creation of spaces and networks that involved members of many minority communities across the world, in Poland, Europe, and also Latin America and the US. Together we carried out several major events, summer schools, field stays, and a number of workshops.
Mówią troszeczkę innym językiem niż my. Więc zobaczcie, w naszej Polsce jest język, który się różni, a jest na naszym terenie kraju i nazywa się język wilamowski.
My understandings about community engagement, revitalization, I think have really changed and developed over the period of time of the project. And I certainly have a very different way of seeing possibilities, opportunities, potentialities for doing this kind of work. A very different perspective on that now than I did, say, 3 years ago when we began the project.
We focus on several major components: participatory action research and community-based research, digital humanities, teaching methodology and teaching materials for minority languages, and also methods and theory of transdisciplinary research on language and culture.
I think we also believe that language is part of a nexus of very complicated social behaviors. So the question is, how do you pick out? You need to control for the other factors.
Language is not just about communication. It's not just about transmitting a message. A lot of what we do with language is expressing our identities, is building relationships with people.
Within the scope of this project, we've been able to work with several minorities in Poland, including speakers of the Wymisieris language, the Łemko language, Kaszepszty language, speakers of endangered languages in Mexico, including Nahuatl, Mixtec, Yucatec. We've invited members of the Basque or Euskera community, Sileti speakers in London, people who revitalize the Manx language on Isle of Man, representatives of the Sami in Norway.
Na but kamenisty kadulało się każde lempiuskie słowo. Piszma.
One of the most empowering and long-lasting effects of the project has been to create communities of practice, between speakers of different languages, different communities across the world, and academics of several European institutions. And together, we've been able to refine our understanding of the tools of language revitalization, the best practices of collaboration with indigenous communities. We've been able to create experimental research tools and curricula and methods for teaching minority languages.
So, in a way, there's a colonial mentality perhaps in the EU approach, which we can actually give them a message to say, no, it doesn't work like that. Actually, we're partners and we're working together and learning from each other. We can shine a light on colonialist attitudes to research, and Enghum has actually done that very clearly, and I think that's something that should be shouted from the rooftops. For across the humanities, not just in languages and cultural studies.
There's no doubt in my mind that this is a very important initiative, but will have to be continued.